Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another War of the Visions video. Alright, so beginner's guide, beginner's tips for you guys out there. Have been wanting to do this for a while. Now I noticed some of my regular viewers who watch my Brown Dust or Brave 9 videos are keen to playing this game as well. So decided to make a beginner's guide. But if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Consider subscribing and turning on the notifications as well, so you won't miss out on any future contents that I'm putting out. Alright, so let's jump into it. So this game, alright, it can be a bit tricky for newer players. There's a lot of things, alright, so you might get overwhelmed with each of the elements and things of whatnot. So I think the best way to explain every single thing is I'm going to go through one by one. Hopefully I can provide you at least 20 tips in this video. Alright, so first things first, very important. Alright, when you are building your units, you want to plan out accordingly so that you are building different elements of them. So what am I talking about? So ideally you want to focus on different elemental units. So for example, my fire units, I have 6 of them right here, right? So ideally you only want to focus on one at the early stage of the game, or maybe 2. Alright, that's the maximum. Don't build like a bunch of them, like all 6 of them at once. Now the main reason why is because when you try to awaken them, they use the same materials for the fragments, alright, the fire fragment of thought and the prisms, the fire awakening prisms. So this is very important because these things are kind of rare. You can't obtain them enough for you to awaken all your units. So you're going to start at like low level, level 50. So I did make a mistake of trying to build my Yeshitola, which is a fire type. She is fully awakened, but then I have the older right here, which I can't awaken yet because look at that, I need 100 of these. And of course, at that time when I was starting the game, I got Lilith and I immediately work on her. And it's not a good idea because yeah, she does consume fire fragment of thoughts and fire awakening prisms as well. Those things are quite rare. Alright, so ideally you want to try to focus on at least one element of each. The same thing goes for all the other elements as well. Every time you want to awaken your units, you will need that particular element's fragment of thought and that prism, awakening prism. So that's the best advice I can give you guys. Take it from someone who has done the mistake of trying to work on multiple same elemental units before. Alright, so tip number 2 that I have for you guys is try to save your visiores. Alright, so what do I mean by saving your visiores? Ideally, when you build units in this game, you want to try to plan out accordingly so that you have enough visiores to be buying their shards as well. Alright, it's very important. So right now we have this Final Fantasy Tactics collaboration. Alright, and Ramza and Orlando is one of the few available ones. Especially for collaboration units, the shards for them are limited. Alright, so if I want to get my Ramza maximum limit break 5, in this case, I need another extra 200 shards. I have 105, so I have 95 more shards to go. So that can be quite hard if you do not have spare visiores. Alright, so I know some players, they just go all in on the banners, like in this summon right here. So they just spend all the 2000 visiores, 2k visiores right here and just pull for the banner. So ideally you want to avoid doing that because if you do not have spare visiores, sometimes in the shop there will be their shards available and you are not able to build them. Alright, so pulling the units is one thing, but you want to have spare visiores to build them as well, to purchase their shards. For example, in the Final Fantasy Tactics collaboration shop, so you can see I have already purchased the Ramza shards right here. It's actually quite expensive if you look at it. So 40 shards per 2k visiores, they allow you to buy 120 shards for 6k visiores. Even with 120, it's not enough to max them out yet. You need 600 for UR units and 500 for MR units. So that is quite a lot of shards. This is something that newer players might get confused. Pulling the units, that's the easy part. Building them, that's the hard part. And you want to be able to build them because especially for collaboration units, some of them may or may not come back. And even if they do come back, it's going to take a while before the next collaboration happens. So keep that in mind. Okay, so one more tip for all the new players out there, try to join a guild immediately. Alright, this is extremely important because you can benefit from a system called the barracks system. So this barracks system will allow you to place your units right there and acquire JP over time. Alright, so basically they're just sitting there. You can just feed them the food. Alright, in this case we have this Chocobo rice or whatever this is called. Alright, so I'm just gonna feed a couple. So you can see on the top right corner right there, JP increased by 63 per hour, Bravery increased by 1, and Faith -1. Alright, it's very important. It's the best way for you to get free JPs ideally. Alright, just place your units right here, leave them overnight. You're essentially getting 63 JP per hour. Do not place your magicians, your mages right here. Alright, you need faith on them. So you ideally only want to place your warriors, your defenders. Do not place your spellcasters or any healers that needs faith. Alright, I've already done an explanation of what Bravery and Faith does in another video, so you can check it out. Links will be in the description below. So ideally, once your faith get decreased, it's quite hard to increase them back. You can use Fina for the cheer system or whatever. But that's the only method that's available to us right now, if I'm not mistaken. In the future, I heard they might introduce another new method for you to increase faith in this barracks menu. I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess, but not sure when that will come. Alright, so next up is regarding the shop. So let's go to the shop. Okay, so this is the shop where you can buy shards for units or characters. Ideally, on this first slot, you will either see Mont, Leonis, or you will see Zazan. I would highly recommend you just buy either one of them until you max them out. So my Mont has already been maxed out. I'm a free-to-play, have been playing for 1.5 months, so every time I purchase the Mont shards right now, it will give me the soul medals. Alright, just to show you guys that it's already maxed out. So once it's maxed out, you can still buy the shards, but it will be converted to soul medals. So ideally, you don't have to purchase it anymore. So ideally, try to scout through this. I wouldn't recommend you to buy these expensive recipes. Those are too expensive, but if you need any of these job materials or any of these crafting materials, you can buy them. So these are pretty worth it. Also, bonus side tip right here, try to refresh the shop every single day, because the first time you refresh, it will be free. Alright, first time refresh is free. Second time refresh will consume 10 visiores, which is extremely low. Alright, 10 visiores is pretty much nothing. You can get much more from the dailies. So we're gonna do one time right there. And we got all the, okay, a bunch of interesting ones. So obviously, just try to browse through though. Don't just aim for the shards. Maybe there's something good down here that you actually need. You never know. Alright, so like this blissful heart, it's cool to be able to buy 5 of it. So you want to try to refresh the shop as much as you can to increase the chance of you getting the shards that you want that is featured right now. Alright, for example, you can see we have Older right here and we have Medina. The reason why they appear more often is because they are featured in this shop right now. So depending on what's the banner that's available on that particular week, you know, refreshing this shop will increase their chance of appearing there. It won't be 100% though, so it's still a gamble. So for me, I need my Ramza shards, but every time I update, it's still a gamble for me whether or not I'll be getting the Ramza shards. Let's see if I... Okay, so there's Orlando right there, no Ramza, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Try to refresh your shop every day, sooner or later, hopefully you can get it. Okay, so next up is the equipment. Alright, so I know the equipment system in this game is a bit confusing and can be quite complicated. But ideally, you want to buy these equipments right here. These are the N equipments. So N equipments, or I think it's normal rarity, they are easily maxed out compared to all the other equipments. They give less stats compared to the maxed out R equipments or MR or UR. But keep in mind that they don't consume materials when you try to craft them. So for example, this N, let me see if I can find an N equipment for you guys. Show you guys the process right here. So this bronze mace, right? So if I max this out, I can max this out and get all these stats right there. You can see 1 out of 17 HP, 2 out of 32 attack, 3 out of 42 magic, right? But if I try to upgrade something that's MR or UR, for example this Ragnarok right here, so you can see I can only max this out to level 10. Alright, so once level 10, if I enhance, okay, you can add seals and stuff, but I'm not going to do it. So once I enhance to level 10, I need to awaken this. Alright, I need to awaken this. Now this will consume you some books and some sorrowful hearts, or depending on what the equipments are, the materials might change a little bit. But ideally, this will consume more materials for you to basically power up compared to the end materials. So at early stages of the game, alright, you can see I have plenty of end equipments right here. A leather plate, all of this. It's okay to use all of this. Bronze helm, if you are new to the game. Alright, so this will help you out a ton. Just get all of these equipments. And they are actually pretty good, alright? Like this javelin right here, it gives 42 attack, it's better than nothing. So if you are new to the game, I would highly suggest you buy as many end types, normal types equipment from the shop and try and power them up and use them up first. So when you equip your units with whatever equipments that they have and you use them in battles, so keep in mind that will increase their equipment proficiency. Alright, it's listed right here. So you can see, for example, my Mont has equipment proficiency of A, and E, for example, right? So weapon is A, armor is A, but my accessory is E. So trying to improve on that part. So to increase the proficiency, you have to equip some sort of equipments on your units and send them into battle. So basically every time you do battles with them, it will slowly increase the proficiency over time. It will take time for sure to get to A, but yeah, you will need a while to grind for that equipment proficiency thing. Alright, so next tip that I have for you guys is regarding the Chocobo expedition. So try to unlock as many slots as you can. So right now I have 5 slots available. So what should you select on the expedition party, ideally? So this is what you can get from Snowstorm Ridge. So you can see, if you select the ice stages, you have a chance to obtain the ice units shards. Gilgamesh, Medina, Nasha, ice elemental units, you have a chance to obtain ice awakening materials, and of course the magicites. Alright, magicites are the one that used to power up your espers. Now 70 to 80% of the time you will be obtaining the materials to power up your espers, which are the magicites. So let me show it to you guys. If I collect my 9 out of 40 items right here, you can see. Alright, so this is a magicite. Now this is a magicite. So we have 1 ice awakening soul. We have a fragment of thought, which is not common. Alright, and then you have a shard. Alright, I wouldn't bet on trying to use the Chocobo expedition for shards. They are not consistent. So most of the time you will be obtaining the magicites to power up your esper. So ideally, the recommendation here is to make sure you send your units to the expedition that has the same element of your esper that you want to power up. For example, right now I'm working on my Shiva, which I just got recently. So which is why I have the Snowstorm Ridge selected. But let's say if you happen to have an Ifrit, so I would suggest you select Infernus Cave so that you have the power to, you have the materials to basically power them up. Going for something like Summoner's Frontier at the bottom, this will give you all elements for your espers. I mean, which is pretty cool, but I would prefer to select a much more specific one. Yeah, I think I'll switch it up to Twilight Woods because I can work on my Behemoth as well. So make sure if you are sending your units to the Chocobo expedition, choose an explore stage that you can benefit from. Alright, if you don't have any dark type esper, don't send them to the dark type area. Alright, so I do have Behemoth right there. Alright, so let's talk regarding esper. So this is where it gets confusing for new players. When you do pulls in this game, you have a chance of obtaining either units, vision cards. That's about it. Alright, some vision cards are associated with espers. For example, if you pull the Cactuar vision card, alright, this you will obtain the esper for Cactuar as well. Now not all vision card has espers. Alright, it's a bit confusing. When I first played this game, I'm like, okay, what the heck is vision card and what the heck is esper? Okay, so if you pull Siren, I think you do get this as a new player. You will be getting her esper as well. But for example, vision cards like this one, Secret Orders, there's no esper associated with it, so you are just getting the vision card for itself. Okay, this is gonna get a little bit complicated, but espers, when you equip them on your units, you don't get the maximum stats that they have. So let's say this Cactuar, I have 130 HP, 18 TP, 21 AP, etc. So if I equip this for my character, let's say anyone other than Mont right here, you will see that the degree of resonance will be less. Alright, so espers will need the maximum amount of resonance to give you 100% of the stats. So if you have resonance of 1 out of 10, you will only get 10% of the espers stats. So keep that in mind. So same goes for everything else. So you have to build Esper Resonance. It's not something that you can achieve overnight. You have to slowly put them in battles. Apparently, every 100 battles will increase Resonance by 1 up to 10, which is 100% of the stats. Alright, so that's something to keep in mind. And the auto battle do not count towards that as well. So you have to take that into consideration. For example, a bomb right here. If I equip bomb on Older will get 50%. Alright, you can see 5 out of 10, so 50% of the stats. So attack 24, Older will only get 12 of it. So if I give this to Ramada, I will only get 10%. So Esper Resonance is something that you have to work towards. It's not something that I think new players will be able to benefit fully from. But Vision card, on the other hand, is something that you can benefit from the beginning itself. Alright, so you, as a new player, I would say try to work on Vision cards first, as opposed to Espers. Esper is something that you have to worry on later on, once you have got everything covered. So Vision cards, you can see every single Vision cards have their own stats, HP, attack, magic. Now, do keep in mind that Vision cards' party abilities do not stack if they have the similar ones. For example, let's say I have this particular Secret Orders Vision card. It gives slash attack plus 13, alright, and plus 1 plus 14 basically for the party ability. So for example, someone else in the party was equipped with this particular card right here, Echoing Screams. This party ability also gives the slash attack plus 15. So it will just take the highest amount right there. It doesn't add both of it and become plus 30 or something. So it's just, it will take the highest one. So if you have one Vision card that gives slash attack plus 15, the other one gives plus 14, it will take the higher one, and it will only take the plus 15. Alright, so it's something that you have to keep in mind when you are building your units. So same goes for one more example. Let's say this particular card right here, Long Distance Communication Device. Alright, this gives party ability of attack plus 5%. And I have one more Vision card right here. This is the Enormous Avian Zoo, attack plus 7%. Alright, it doesn't add it up together to become a plus 12%. Alright, it will just take the highest one. In this case, if I equip Zoo, it will take this plus 7%. So keep that in mind. Alright, only the bestowed effect to the particular individual, that one can be stacked with other party abilities. Plenty of players might not know this. Me, myself, I only found this out about 2 to 3 weeks ago, reading a post on Reddit. So basically, if you put equipments with multiple stats on it, so let's say this is Mont, alright? So I have this sword that gives, this is Excalibur, so this sword gives 120 attack. So let's say I have another equipment right here that gives attack, maybe 10 attack, right? It doesn't add it together to make it 130. It doesn't add the 120 plus 10 attack. What it will do, it will take the highest stat of the attack and it will only take that individual equipment. Alright, so for example, this lion emblem, it gives me 272 HP. Alright, and I have this ring that gives me 6 HP. Alright, so it doesn't add both of them up together to become 278. It will only take the 272 HP because that's the highest stat from the equipment. So keep in mind, it works, if I'm not mistaken, it works for all the stats. It will just take the highest out of all 3 equipments that you have, and that's it. It doesn't add all of them together. So something that you have to keep in mind when you are managing your equipments and equipping them. Ideally, these are the quests. You have the quest for the current banners. So in this case, we have the Final Fantasy Tactics quest and stuff. 3 million download. You should be doing this every day, and we have this JP reward quest as well. Okay, but if you go to the day and training, now you have this daily grind. And if you go through all of these lists, you'll be like, oh my god, what is all of this, right? It gets really overwhelming. Alright, like what should you farm for? What should you not farm for? Now ideally, your priority is to farm the first 4 actually. EXP chamber is something that you need to farm every day. Jill chamber, farm every day because you need Jills. Ore chamber, definitely farm every day. You might not need that as much at first, but once you start working on equipments, you will need a bunch of ore chambers. Alright, growth egg chamber, farm it every day. Pot chamber, now this is where it gets interesting. I don't think pot chamber is something that you need that soon yet. But ideally, if you have spare NRGs, just farm it. Alright, if you don't have spare NRGs, then maybe that's the one that you can skip, because I feel like in terms of the priority, for newer players, EXP chamber, Jill chamber, ore chamber, and the growth egg chamber will benefit you more. Alright, this is for you to obtain the EXP cubes. for you to level up your units. Now, even if you don't need them, you will still need to farm them because one of the monthly missions require them. Alright, which one was it? I think it's this one, Farplane EXP chamber. Yeah, right here. You can see, you can only farm them 3 times a day. And ideally, every single month you will have this mission. They want you to farm at least 70 times. Okay, 70, you can do 3 times a day. Yeah, you want to farm every single day. 20 days will give you 60 times. So if you miss like a couple of days, you might not get this thing at the end, which is this Rainbow Vision Sphere, which you want to obtain every single month. Every time you see this anywhere, you want to buy this as well. This is very important. Alright, this is going to be the most important thing. Rainbow Vision Sphere and the Rainbow Fragments of Thought. Those 2 things are very important. So yeah, even if I don't need this EXP chamber, I still need to farm it every day for that monthly quest. Jill chamber, you need to farm it every day so you can sell those turtles for Jills. Ore chamber, these are the materials to enhance your equipment, you need to farm this every day. Growth egg chamber, these are for the vision cards, you need to farm this every day. Pot chamber, this is more for your ability enhancers. Now, not all units have the abilities. So this one is going to depend. I would say still farm it anyways, if you want to level up your abilities, but not all abilities needs this. So yeah, some abilities can pure up, be leveled up by using the JP. Now the rest are more dependent on whether or not you need them. Alright, for example, these awakening materials, awakening souls. I will only suggest you guys to farm it when it's on the double drop day. For example, every single Monday, the fire and wind will have the double drop. So you only farm it during that time. And if you want, let's say you want earth or dark, so you have to wait for Wednesday before you farm them. So I wouldn't recommend farming them on any normal time because you're not getting the most efficient 2x amount that you can get on their double farming day. So try to take advantage of that. Okay, so the next tip that I have is regarding the multi-quest. So if you are new to the game, ideally you want to be taking advantage of the multi-quest every single day, because if you can find someone else's to join their party, it doesn't consume any NRGs from your end. Now keep in mind, the multi-quest do take effect of the 2x as well from the regular quest. While it's not stated right here, but earlier today I showed that fire and wind, you get 2 times the Alchrist and Awakening Souls. It applies for multi-quest as well. Alright, so you do get more, so make sure you take advantage of that. You can either click here or just click on the respective level and click join room. Alright, and then you can try your best to join this. I do experience some lag and sometimes some crashes on emulators, but it works better on phone for the multi-quest. So I feel like if you want to take full advantage of the multi-quest, try to play on the phone. Alright, you will have much more fun doing so. Okay, so you might or might not already know this, but you can actually skip battles in Arena. So what you need to do, so let me choose an opponent. For example, I fight this guy. Okay, so you can press commence battle. Okay, instead of watching the full thing, press the upper right 3 tabs thing and press skip right here. Alright, you can skip and it will still determine the win or lose for you. I mean, if you win, it will still count it as a victory. So it's okay if you skip battles. Like sometimes if you are in a hurry, you can just skip battles all along and, you know, get past that AI walking around and doing the things for you. I mean, ideally most players don't mind watching it, I guess, but I mean, if you think it's necessary to watch your battles, then go ahead and watch it. But for players who just want, you know, to do the dailies, they want to rush it through it quickly, I guess this is a good way to do that, right? Okay, so besides the arena, you can also do the same thing for guild battles. Alright, so this is something that I didn't know until like last week or something. Somebody told me. Alright, so what you can do in guild battles, you can do the same thing. So once you choose your opponent, you can also skip it. I'm just gonna roughly show you guys. Okay, so already on low health because previously I did fought someone else, so you can press skip. I think I'll lose this one. Gilgamesh. Did I win? Oh, I won. 3-star. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, 2 guild battles. Alright, so I guess you have an option now. Now that you know, you can actually skip guild battles and arena. Alright, so one more tip for you guys is basically most units will get their special ability or new power unlock at level 40. So what we call the master ability. So you have to do a special quest for this. So right now this is Surges. I know not many players build him. He's an ice type, and if you reroll for Medina, you might not have enough of the ice fragments and stuff, but for me, I don't have Medina, so therefore, I was able to build him. So now, keep in mind that once level 40, you have to complete the quest, you have to do the special quest from the hard quest to be able to unlock this. Ideally, most units, minimum recommendations, you want to have them at limit break 3. So limit break right here, you want to be able to achieve the limit break 3. So with limit break 3, once you get awakened to maximum, you will be able to unlock all the ability panels, everything including the outer ones. So basically that's the minimum requirements. If you have a unit that you can't get quite up there to limit break 4 or 5 because you need like 500 shards or 600 shards, so limit break 3 is sort of like the minimum requirements for most players, especially if you are free to play, to be aiming for. Okay, so next up regarding the hard quest, so you have to access it via the story quest, world quest right here. So make sure to do this every single day. So what you want to be doing is you want to be farming your shards that you need for the character. So usually this is where I'll be using my skip tickets, and you can do this 10 times a day. Make sure to do so that you can work towards your progress in getting more shards for the characters that you want to build. For example, Stern, I'm working on him, but I've already used all my quests for today, 10 out of 10, you can see at the bottom right there. So make sure to do this every single day. Very important. This is going to help you significantly in building your units faster. And please do not use your hard quest on Mont's shard. Alright, avoid doing that because you can get plenty of Mont shards from the shop. So you work on everyone else except for Mont. Alright, you can preferably try to work on those UR units because their shards are much more valuable compared to MR units, but it's totally up to you. And again, the last tip I think for today would be regarding the shop. Alright, so there are always constantly multiple shops that has the celebration downloads or whatever. So every time you see this shop, if you see this thing, Rainbow Vision Sphere and Rainbow Fragment of Thought, you want to be buying it every single time. This will be the bottleneck to your progression if you do intend to play this game for long. Alright, building every single unit will consume Rainbow Fragment of Thoughts and Rainbow Vision Spheres. Alright, too bad there's no Azure Vision Spheres, but these two will be needed for this one. The Fragment of Thought will be needed for MR and both UR characters as well. Whereas the Rainbow Vision Spheres are mostly just for UR characters. For MR, they'll be using the Azure Vision Sphere, which is a totally different sphere, so you don't have to worry about it. Those spheres can be easily obtained when you pull for duplicates in the shop as in the summon banner. So it's kind of a cool thing. So building MR units is kind of a much easier one. So yeah, if you are new to the game, don't focus on too many UR units. You might not be able to get multiple UR units up, and it's fine. Alright, so MR units are equally as strong, and you will be able to get them up to the maximum in a faster period of time when you are new. Alright, so I would suggest you to work on some MR units while working on UR units. Do not just work on 10 different UR units at a single time. Try to work on maybe 2 to 3. Alright, that's the maximum. Even 3 is like kind of killing it. I feel like 1 to 2 is much more manageable as a free to play. Okay, so the last final bonus tip for you guys. Alright, so this is something that I used to do, mistakes that I did when I was a beginner. So when you go here to the missions, alright, when you go to training and stuff, you see all of this, it gives EXP and it gives visiores. Do not claim them unless you need them. Alright, so here's the trick. You want to use this like a free NRG restore, alright? Because every time you rank up, you get a free NRG restore, right? So you want to use this as an emergency to get more NRGs. So you don't want to be claiming this just for the 200 visiores. I know the visiores is cool and stuff, but this will give you the rank EXP. Now this game is a bit different. Every time you play campaign stage, it doesn't give you rank EXP at all. You don't level up your account level. You only level up your character units. So basically, to level up your account, you will need to claim all of these rank EXP. So whenever you claim this, 200 is a ton. It's going to give you that boost to bring you up to the next level or the next rank. So once you do that, you're going to fill up your NRGs, right? So you want to use this as efficient as you can, alright? So those that gives the rank EXP. So be careful before you claim them, because you are most likely going to go level up. So in the beginning of the game, early stage of the game, I just keep claiming them and I have plenty of NRGs just sitting down there, not doing anything. Like, this game recharges the NRG extremely quickly, so you want to take advantage of that if you can. Alright, so make sure only claim it when you need the NRGs. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the tips, and if you guys have anything else you want to add, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm still pretty fresh in the game. There's still plenty of mechanics in the game that I'm still learning, but hopefully once I've mastered them, I'll try to make a video covering them as well. Alright, so stay tuned. If you guys want more videos like this, give it a like. Make sure to enable the notifications as well, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.